Good evening, y'all. Welcome to another great episode of Mason Dixon Podcasts with y'all's hosts, John McLeese, Mr. Greg, Corey from the Ozarks Flaggers, Cameron Sloop, who both Cameron and Greg also run the Fame Preservation Group, and Vinny Balducci. All right, y'all. Remember, as always, the views and opinions expressed here on Mason Dixon Podcast and on MAD, our own and just our own views, and they do not represent the views and opinions of any other person, group, or organization. Also, remember that stars help us save statues. So, for those of y'all that want to send us some stars, please click that stars button down below. We are also streaming live to Save Southern Heritage Florida, which has become probably one of the best organizations outside of any Southern group that has been dedicated to activism and lobbying for better protection laws for our heritage. Y'all could be part of them. Corey and I are members. It's only $25 a year. To be a member, you get access to insider calls. You get access to wonderful events that are in Florida. And we have a social every single year at the SCV reunion, which y'all can interact with us there, meet us there. Monuments Across Dixie also has a subscription program, which is $5 a month, the price of one of them woke lattes. So make sure y'all check that out too. All right, y'all. By now, I am sure every single one of y'all on here knows, and I'm pretty sure all of our viewers knows, that Arlington is sadly in the process of being demolished. It has to be completed by tomorrow. Majority of the memorial has been removed. This happened despite our best efforts to secure a second temporary restraining order. People might not be aware of what that is, but that states that you cannot do anything until further notice. It started off on a Sunday when they set up. Monday, they tried to start the removal. They badly damaged a grave. They had their crane on top of Ezekiel's grave. The amount of disrespect that they went to do this was ridiculous, and they showed that they do not care. And the judge that was going to be ruling on this molded over a little bit. Ultimately, he sadly decided not to try this case or take it on or comment. So it went out, and the restraining order was lifted. And right in the middle of the night, like they always do, they started on demolition. Started into the morning, dismantling the memorial. And here are some pictures that I wanted to share with y'all, especially for those who thought we'd never see a crane at Arlington. That's right after the top had been removed. This memorial is hollow inside with beams in there, and they're going through to take that down and taking the memorial in pieces apart. And allegedly, this memorial is supposed to be going to the New Market battlefield. What are y'all's thoughts on this when y'all see this?
Fury, anger, disbelief.
Yeah, disbelief is a good one. Because it seems like every time another monument comes down, no matter how big or small, everybody closest to it has the mentality that it'll never happen here until it does.
Yeah,
it's disheartening.
Yeah, and you would think they would leave this one, at least this one, alone, because it's literally a monument to reconciliation, a monument to peace between the two sections, and you would see throughout history, and no matter which party won the election, you saw every president starting with from William Howard Taft all the way up to Obama putting the wreaths there, especially there. And yeah, and it's just
with that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's just you would think they would at least leave this one alone, because who in this country does not want peace? You know, especially after, if anyone who's been in history class knows, is that after 600,000 dead, you would think after 50, you would think we want peace. no, enough is enough. You know.
Well, fellas,
With that
since
in mind,
2015,
it's understood. Sorry, what?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Greg.
Basically, what I was going to say is it's understood that reconciliation amounts to peace, but in today's society, the United States as we know it is polarized, divided, and politically motivated by both sides of the spectrum, either to be for or against something. And these monuments are low-hanging fruit to a society that no longer exists, which is agrarian, confederated, independent, based on the states and not a federated system. That's not what we live in today. And these monuments are reminders of what used to be and what they don't want to go back to.
You're absolutely right. You know, since 2015, we have seen cities like New Orleans and Memphis cave in and take down monuments. We've seen states cave in, like North Carolina, which removed all the Confederate monuments from their state capital area.
Mm-hmm.
Virginia.
Virginia is another. Yes, thank you. Yes.
Monument
And
Avenue.
now, here we are with the federal government of the United States of America, quote unquote, now has decided that reconciliation is over, that there is no more peace to be made or had with people who proudly honor the service and sacrifice of their Confederate veterans.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that all of you guys can probably sing the same song, but my dad served in the United States Army. My two grandfathers served in the United States Army during World War II. I have 6 or 8, distant great grandfathers who helped fight for independence from Great Britain. I want to love our country. I want to love the Stars and Stripes. But fellas, this makes it so hard.
I have not
It
flown
does
the
with me
federal
too,
flag
because
in years after what's been going on.
Yeah.
And I think that this is going to be the bottom line for a lot of people to realize that it's almost like when you're put in that position, you have to pick. And ultimately, I stand with my Confederate ancestors. I stand with my Southern heritage, because ultimately, it started with us. Look at where it's escalated to. It is they have attacked every single war after this. World War I is now coming after attacking textbooks. And mark my words, they start with the monument, or what really is called the memorial, because it's a grave marker. When they do that, they come for the dead next. We've seen that with General Forrest. We've seen that with General Loring. We have seen that with just about several cases right now. And exactly, this is a true statement. It's a cold civil war. It's reconstruction in a different manner. It's through iconoclasm, the systemic stealing of icons. They have gone into a national cemetery, which, if you think about it, Arlington is stolen land. That is stolen land generally. Should never be made into a cemetery. They steal his land. They make it into a federal cemetery. Then they say, okay, reconciliation. Why don't we allow the South to get their memorial? And at that point, it was like, okay, because it was about healing. What message do they send when they take down a reconciliation memorial?
Mm-hmm.
That they don't
care about the people.
That's right.
They rule with an iron fist.
Yeah, it sends a myriad of messages. Number one, they don't want reconciliation. They don't want peace. And as you said, Greg, they don't care. These people are so disconnected from Maine America that they're in a bubble. They are in an echo chamber, for lack of a word.
That's all DC is one big echo chamber.
It is.
And what people don't know too. Oh, you.
Yeah, I tried calling my congressman, my senator, and I got a staffer on one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so difficult to even go directly to your congressman, the people, your representative, the people who you elect to represent your interests.
No.
I had a
Unless
candidate that actually got an audience with one of our congressmen from here in Southeast Michigan one time to go and talk about honors for Confederate veterans. And as soon as he said that, they laughed him out of his office. They said, "I don't have time to talk about this. Go ahead and get on out of here. I don't have time for this."
What we
Nah.
got to do, and this is what I tell people, with calling your Congress critters, basically, when you call them, only 2% of people, it's real low, that number, average, 2% even call. Most people don't even know there's a switchboard because, again, with education, they're too busy teaching pronoun theory and CRT and all this nonsense. They don't teach you how government works. I can't tell y'all how many times I've had college students that I do tutoring with, and they don't know what the legislative branch is. They don't know they don't even know we have branches of government. They just think it's just one magical place. And that's been the problem. When you pull the war over, people's eyes,
the wool,
the wool. When you pull the wool over people's eyes,
It'll be a war soon.
They do that with the war too. They keep people in this kind of like hypnotic trance where they're not aware of what's going on. They're not informed, so they can do this nonsense right here. And I tell them, call the switchboard. What's that? You have to spell it out for them. And I've been doing that with these classes on here, showing people what to do. I've been doing this for over a year, since day one when we started with Defend Arlington, because the problem was that people weren't doing it. I was getting 5 friends together. Okay, before we go out, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to call first. I'm going to hang up my phone. I'm going to have you call on your phone, and you have to dictate. Do that in a whole circle. If you can get at least 5 people to call at one time, they notice that. And if you do it daily, make a scene out of it. Now, here's what we do now, because right now it's about getting even in a way where we can. And one way to get even, make them lose their office and remind them, we made you lose the office. We had a senator that's in my district, Tom Kane, and he promised, help me get in. I'll save the memorial. I'm against the naming commission. All right. Well, guess what? He lied. When the Republicans had the supermajority. So I replied to a comment on here, and I said the Republicans played a role in destroying this monument, y'all. People go, well, what do you mean? Just vote straight Republican. Here is why voting Republican does no good and does not matter. We voted straight Republican. Look at where that got us, y'all. We had the supermajority in Congress. Did that make any difference? The Republicans were too busy voting out members like George Santos, who actually voted against this to save the memorial. They got him out, so that was one less vote. They lied, and they joined with the left. We got Mike Rogers from Alabama. Yeah, let's take down this Arlington Memorial. The Republicans sold out our own heritage. So why is anybody of good faith voting for the ones that don't support us? We had 41 amazing Republicans who signed a little sheet saying to protect the memorial. We also had 1 Democrat who signed, which I appreciate. This, however, was a bipartisan issue to systemically destroy our heritage and history. And by us saying, okay, I'll still vote for you because it's a lesser of 2 evils, evil is evil and sin is sin. There is no good evil, or I'm going to just do this sin versus that sin. It adds up. And I told him, and I told his staffer, I said, you give him a message that I will do everything in my power to vote him out of office. I don't care if I have to get in a liberal, but guess what? It's going to be bad for those 2 years that liberal in. Tom Kane brought it on himself. And I want him to think and remember that we were the ones who got him to lose his position. Do that enough times and they recognize it and they will start to fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And another thing too, when Trump was in office, the Republicans had control of the houses, and what did they do?
Nothing.
Just sat on their hands the whole time.
They do nothing.
Yeah.
They want their money and they want your vote. And the money half the time, because having been in the politics in Jersey, they use that money throwing cocktail parties, going to cigar parties. They don't use it to actually help the people or actually do stuff. And right here, I love this right here. Glenn Youngkin. People think raise your hand if you think Glenn Youngkin is a good governor. Crickets. Raise your hand if you think Glenn Youngkin's awful.
he had potential, but he didn't do anything he said he was going to do, and so here we are. It's just
He
a waste
also praised the removal of Lee when he was running. That upset a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And he's done nothing with education. Instead, he turned around and said, you know what? Maybe gender neutral bathrooms aren't a bad idea. He caved on just about every single issue. With our memorial, this was in Virginia. He ignored it. They want to relocate it in Virginia. The problem is that I don't think it's a written agreement. It's not a written agreement. That's the problem, y'all, because it could be the end of our memorial for that reason.
Yeah.
That's how Fame got taken down. It was all word of mouth.
That's
Well,
right.
Youngkin, first of all, when he had an opportunity to take a stand against it, instead he hem-haws and says, well, they say they're going to take it down, so we're just going to say, we'd welcome it at Newmarket. That was the worst thing that he possibly could have done, because at that moment he is saying it's okay to take it down as long as we can put it at the Newmarket battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Which is not where it's supposed to be. I have people that are like, well, at least it's going to go to Newmarket. That is a compromise that is unacceptable. When that monument was put up in 1914, Moses Ezekiel had sculpted it. When he died, it was his wish to be buried at its base.
Mm-hmm.
He was not the only Confederate veteran to die and be buried there after it was dedicated and erected. So other Confederate veterans made the choice, or their families made the choice, that they wanted their final resting place to be in the location where that monument has stood.
Yes.
Now that monument is being moved, the wishes of these deceased veterans and their families is obliterated.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
By simply even allowing the monument to be placed there, and then for the government to allow those people to be buried there, that's an unwritten agreement between them that says, yes, we will not only keep this monument here forever, but we will honor your wishes that you will be buried by it forever.
Mm-hmm.
Gone, obliterated.
The legality of this situation is just baffling.
It is.
But then again, the lawmakers are the ones that rule the law, and you see what they're doing with it.
Yeah, and wolves in sheep's clothing. And the DC itself is just one big snake pit. A snake that sheds its skin is still a snake.
That's right.
Yeah.
Putting a wig on
And
a
right
pig,
now,
calling it a
both
dog,
parties
still
are
a
the same
pig.
pig.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Two wings of the same big federal eagle. And that's why I tell people, one party is not better than the other. And ultimately, my deal breaker is, do you support our heritage? If it's a wishy-washy, I count that as a no. If it's a no, then my vote is no. I'm not going to vote for someone that's going to be complicit in it. And you never know. Sometimes they lie and they say, yeah, I support you. And then they really don't. I mean, and what's crazy is, having been with the Republican Party in Jersey, when I was doing my flagging stuff with Jersey flaggers, we have had a lack of integrity, total lack of integrity, where they, we've had members that will lie on record. They'll say, oh, we told the person to take their flag down. That was a lie for one of the rallies. They said, oh, he's a plant. That was another lie as well. I was almost a leader in the Young Republicans Club, who they never had a problem with my flag or anything, but they got new people in as the time went on, and they were, I think, infiltrators. They were bad. And we've since seen that the GOP, they'll make statements saying, okay, let's just take down this monument, but you guys can still go there. And my response is no, because this monument, to John's point, belonged in Arlington. Its historical value, its historical purpose was a grave marker at Arlington. Does not belong in Newmarket, does not belong in Gettysburg, doesn't belong elsewhere. When you remove a memorial from where it is supposed to belong, you devalue the historical worth of that. This is what they are doing. They are devaluing our heritage, or attempting to. And, hey, at least it's erected somewhere up, but that is not a compromise. There should be no compromise, because when you start to compromise, remember how it was just remove a flag from the Capitol. Look at where that turned to.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Digging up dead
that was
bodies, dead veterans, removing a memorial in a cemetery. Well, I thought you were supposed to put the memorials in cemeteries.
Yep. But those aren't
Yeah,
even
they
safe.
keep moving the goalposts over time.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
It's that,
And
How
now
many
with
lines
that-
of the center have they made?
yeah, and give them an inch, they take a whole yard.
Yep.
And now with these graves that have been moved already, Forest, Loring, Hill, that has set the precedent now. There is in my mind nothing that's blocking the federal government from digging up those 500 and some graves that surrounded that monument and chucking them somewhere else.
Yeah, and that's probably what's going to end up happening, sadly.
You know what's crazy
Yeah.
too? It's going to bleed out into anybody who's related to a Confederate soldier. So it's not going to matter if they are, it's not going to matter if they are buried in there or in the vicinity. If they are buried in that cemetery in Arlington and they have some tie to the Confederacy, they're going to count that against them. It is a slow cultural genocide, is what this is. And another scary thing too is in this whole process, what precedence does it set to remove a memorial in a cemetery? How many other we have a ton of memorials that are on veteran cemeteries. And what happened was I saw an article about 2 months ago, and I knew it because it showed New Jersey's monument on it. The monument that, no one knows about. Oh, goodness gracious. And it complained about New Jersey's monument. The historian, they're letting these quote unquote, I don't call them historians. They let these Marxists that are dressed as historians, I use that term loosely there, claim that, okay, now historians are going to call the shots in this. Take this down. Let's get rid of memorials. Let's get rid of art history. Let's devalue our country more. They have gone so far away from doing their job as historians and educating. And what they've done now is they're calling for something dangerous because these cemeteries are veteran cemeteries. And they're then saying, okay, remove the memorials. There is nowhere else you can put the Point Lookout Memorial. There is nowhere else you can put the Jersey Memorial, which is a sister memorial to Point Lookouts. They're trying to remove that right now with saying, oh, we talked to the VA. Are they willing to remove these Confederate monuments? And the VA said nothing's off the table, which ultimately means yes in due time. And it says right here, location of grave of Moses Ezekiel appears to be removed and otherwise not protected. Programmatic agreement section right here, page 13, says contractor work plan must include protections on the gravestone. He's right over here. Tire on the gravestone, removed it. They have done nothing to protect the gravestone. They have not been in line with this. This construction crew, which has also been behind the removal of Monument Avenue and desecrating AP Hill, have been behind this. And Mr. Bowe is correct. Pseudo historians have brainwashed our people, and they also did this in schools. A lot of the teachers, Marxist. That's what we're seeing.
Yeah, and they're not teachers. They're not historians. They're activists. That's all they really are.
They're demonstrators in a classroom.
And what's so sad is we have our people have history amnesia, and any of y'all who follow the Abbeville Institute and the Brian McClanahan show, even our detractors at the time had acknowledged that our cause was just. Even Eugene Genovese, an avowed communist, wrote most of his life and profound author of Roll Jordan Roll, was on our side academically. And he was a Harvard professor.
Absolutely. And, with this whole topic on the war, it was about honoring, because Confederate is a very distinctive culture. They would study the culture, they would study the South, and it was appreciated and celebrated. We don't even have classes called Northern Studies because there really ain't much up there left. We see now, and they're destroying it. We have people that take down Revolutionary War history. We have people that take down World War XII history, World War I, War of 1812. Yep, it's really just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, and
it's all by design. The same people that want to take down our monuments are using our monuments as an excuse to go after everything. Not only other monuments, other schools, other institutions. Hell, I just saw yesterday that some Democrats are wanting to make Chick-fil-A open on Sunday. As
Yep, in the state of New
minute
York.
as that is, that's government intervention in private industry. Last
Yep.
time,
Yeah.
last time that really came to be history was Nazi Germany
That's
Mhm.
right.
when they tried to federalize every institution.
Yep.
You know, this right here should be
Like
this should be
Chick-fil-A.
our
No,
yeah, this right
you
here
can
should
get.
be our this right here should be our far cry. This charge, this should be quite literally on a poster for that mayor in Richmond. And
Yeah.
and all these other guys complicit in removing this monument is calling them out exactly what they are. They're a criminal. A class, is that an I? I cannot see from that font. Is that an I? Class I felony or class 1?
This right here is a class 1, class I. It looks like class. Is that Roman numerals?
Yeah, that's one.
1.
That's the one. Yeah, that's a class 1 felony.
So it's a class 1 felony without authorization of law or the consent of the surviving spouse or next kin of the deceased to knowingly and willfully 1. Open, disturb, destroy, remove, vandalize, or desecrate any casket or repository of any human remains by any means, including plowing under, tearing up, covering over, or otherwise obliterating or removing any grave or taking a portion thereof. 2, to take away, disturb, vandalize, destroy, tamper with, or deface any tombstone, headstone, monument, right there, monument, grave marker, grave ornamentation, or grave artifacts erected or placed within any cemetery to designate the place where human remains are interred, or to preserve and perpetuate the memory and the name of any person. The subdivision shall not apply to the ordinary maintenance and self-care of a cemetery. And it goes on right here. So there's also a class H felony. It goes into that. But right here, these contractors had violated this law when they, by the way, remember I mentioned y'all that we go in there, right, with that crane? You will damage all of those stones. There is no way to get a crane in and out of Arlington safely. They've done just that. They damage the stones, damage them. And they said that there wouldn't be any damage and that when the Army did their whole survey, it was, again, half-baked, didn't even work. We didn't think it over. This procedure this military had done was so sloppy and so disgusting that we have never seen a case like this. Their public comment, people weren't given this fair chance to speak. They were only cut down to 1 minute. Right here, when it goes over here, it says, disturbing the graves. They disturbed them. They damaged them. They put the crane over it. They drove their tire over it. This is how awful it's been. And the judge actually went out there and looked at that. So how could he in good faith rule that this memorial could continue to be demolished? That was just shameful, if you ask me.
Yeah. Unless and I don't think it was in good faith.
All
And if
this
you've
has
ever been
been
around
done
the
on the taxpayer's dime.
Absolutely. And if you've ever been around equipment like you see in those pictures, I mean, equipment that's like that rattles everything around it.
That's right.
So not only is it rattling the earth, but it's rattling what's under the earth, the remains of the people that are buried beneath that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that right there is a disturbance of the graves in and of itself.
Yeah.
It is.
That's right. And these environmental protection laws, y'all, that I had some people claim for some reason there's environmental protection laws that block this. According to who? According to the government, it's rules for thee, but not for me. These so-called environmental protection laws protected nobody. Our dead veterans cannot even rest. Tell me that's not scary. Now, what precedence does that set for maybe in a few more years? Because there's no more World War I veterans. People forgot about that war. when they start making that war about imperialism and they start adding the isms at it, and then they say, oh, well, you know, in order to promote social justice, we got to remove World War I memorials and their graves. They're coming next. Mark my words.
Mm-hmm.
You're absolutely right. I wrote a piece about 6 or 7 years ago, and was talking about the Vietnam veterans, and even the veterans of the more modern wars in the Middle East. Just imagine in 150 years, people that you and I and the people that are watching this, that we have known and loved, who have gone and served in the military, in 150 years, let's just say in my own area, I live in Southeast Michigan, Dearborn, which is now, a mostly Muslim populated area. If that spreads throughout Southeastern Michigan, there are monuments right now that exist to honor people who fought in the recent Middle East wars. In 150 years, if those areas are continue to be Muslim or get even more Muslim, they may one day say, you know what, these are monuments to imperialism, American imperialism. They only came over there for our oil. We want to tear these monuments down. And these are monuments that will have the names of people that we currently know and love.
That's right.
My own dad's name is on a Vietnam memorial in a local community. What if in 100 years they decide, you know what, we want to tear down all the Vietnam memorials. We're coming after all of them. And I'll tell you what, you try that today, I'm going to be out there when they come after. If I'm alive when it happens, I'm going to be out there where my dad's name is on that memorial, saying, no, you're not going to touch it, or you're going to have to haul me off or kill me before you do.
That's right. And with those wars right there, they're already talking about it now. I found one article from 2014 about the Iraq-Afghanistan war, and they said that it's imperialism. They were labeling it back then as imperialism. So that's the scary thing, y'all. Both of those wars have been given that label. You have that label, and typically we have memorials to wars in the Middle East, to Iraq, Afghanistan. And we were probably going to see more go up, 20 years after conflict, commemorating it, maybe small markers. Give it some time, y'all, and eventually what they're going to say is take them all down, because they've already given that label to World War I, Persian Gulf War, Desert Storm, that conflict. They always criticize for imperialism. Iraq, Afghanistan have been criticized for that. Then you look at Vietnam. We lost that war, so as well as Korea, and they put an imperialist label on that as well, spreading the Americanism ideas. World War II gets an interesting one because they make it seem like we were causing a genocide on Asian Americans. If you talk about what California did to the Japanese in the internment camps, there's an assignment that actually makes students they basically make it seem like what happened in America was identical to the Holocaust. So that's how radical that these socialists have gone with education. And these children leave this class. Exactly. They leave this class thinking, oh my gosh, I should be ashamed of my World War II veterans. We've had students that will actually become ashamed to know somebody for World War II. We have students that say, oh, was George Washington a bad person? Was he racist? This is what they're teaching in school. So it was never about the Confederacy. It was never about our memorials. They are now teaching everyone to look at history with a critical race theory narrative. Mm-hmm. And then they also put in climate change in history class. So right here, you have this climate change narrative, this false God, this false belief that these students are believing.
Yeah. They will rue the day, my friend, if they go after my great grandfather. Because my great grandpa was a World War II and Korea veteran and survivor of Pearl Harbor. So,
and you think about this too. Right now, I mean, there's a section in Arlington Cemetery right now that is, all dedicated just to veterans of the quote unquote war on terror. I mean, look, if you are considering being buried at Arlington National Cemetery, if that's something you've ever thought about and you're a veteran watching this, just know that this is now on the table, that in the future, somebody may decide you are no longer worthy of honor. Your service is no longer worthy of respect and honor by your government.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Yeah,
It's
my
not.
great grandma's husband is buried in Arlington.
Which one?
My great grandma's husband.
Wow.
Yeah, he's buried in Arlington.
World War One,
Two.
And you know, y'all, we should almost word it like this. Number one, I don't think anybody of Southern blood, especially, should be signing up for the military. Don't do it. Anywhere that supports the federal government, don't do it, because this is what's happening, y'all. They're taking Southern blood, who's always given the most and has continued to give the most. World War One. This is why we had base names. They wanted to further reconciliation. Southern blood was not serving in any war, especially how badly they were treated after the war between the states. They were not fighting for any Union army. Well, the Union decides to say, oh, well, you know what? After we were brutal to you guys, why don't you build your monument here? We're going to reconcile. Let us put a military base right here. We put this military base here. We'll name it after your Southern heroes. Okay, fair enough, right? And you'll still have some of that identity. They have gone so far on their promise of breaking reconciliation, renaming all these bases. That should have been day one. I've had college professors that were veterans who were disgusted at what's going on. I had one that she had no idea that they were removing Arlington. I showed her and she says, my gosh, because she hasn't been in the military for a while, but she remembered. She said, I served at Fort Hood, Texas, and it will always be Fort Hood. Nobody wanted these names to be changed at all. No. And when you tell people about going to Arlington, let them know that their days there are numbered. It's almost like you're renting a space. You don't buy that plot. That plot that is provided or whatnot is not provided to you. It comes at a price that, knowing that someday down the road, you are going to have to pay the money to reinter your veteran ancestor. That's the way it is, y'all. And heaven forbid y'all don't have any children. Your ancestor pretty much just becomes a ward of the state or whatever they do at that point, and probably puts them in somewhere else. But they're not saying no veteran is safe at Arlington. That's what the message needs to be made clear. Yeah,
it's and Owen Wright here is correct. It's setting a precedent, and a very dangerous one at that. It's literally saying that everyone is free game.
That's right.
You know, I think about guys like Jeb Stuart II, guys like Longstreet's sons that are buried there. You know, we have several, like Jeb Stuart II and several other past commanders in chief of the Sons of Confederate Veterans are interred at Arlington National Cemetery.
Yep.
General Wheeler.
General Wheeler, absolutely. And well, Marcus Wright, General Marcus Wright, is one of the graves that is right there at the base of the Confederate Memorial.
Marmaduke, he's buried there too.
Yep, Marmaduke is as well. Yeah. So, you know, all these guys, and they thought, you know, yes, this is a place I want to be buried here because, you know, they honor and respect me and my service and my heritage, and I want to be buried here because I honor and respect and love my country. It's all gone. It's all gone.
Yeah.
Every last bit of it's gone. There is no more reconciliation. And I told people there are some things that we can do to fight back. And here's what I recommended. And I'm going to read my friend's list because it was wonderful. Number one, stop sending Southern blood over to serve in the armed forces. Those who are in it need to either quit or their family's got to convince them to quit and make it known why. You know, I had a recruiter call me. I spent that conversation with this recruiter, and I'll do a whole little short video on that. But the quick version, I told him no, ultimately, number one, because you guys are doing this to Arlington, that there has not been any veterans in service saying, this is wrong, you need to stop this, I'm quitting. I will not be complicit and part of such a disgusting criminal organization who has allowed this to happen. They've allowed this cancer of just destruction of history, iconoclasm, anti-veteran, just to spread. And the veterans that are joining now have no appreciation for history. They would rather promote to drag queens, but it seems like that this drag queen promotion is not getting them where they want to go. Their numbers are tanking and tanking and tanking, and they're running scared. They're now calling people in their late 20s and early 30s trying to get the numbers up.
Yeah.
And their prompt is that, oh, it can help you get someone in your life.
Yeah.
No.
And
Some
my message is this. Don't join regular Army. Don't join the Navy, Marines, Air Force. Join your state guard if you have one. Like in my state, we have a National Guard that is only to which is only to the state. And join that if you want to serve. But regular Army, don't send your Southern sons or daughters. No, don't.
No. At this point, every single American that cares about what we represent should pledge their allegiance to their states.
Yes.
Not be completely the way the government's acting right now. It's anything close to tyrannical action.
It is.
Here's a repost I'm going to give you all. This is what my buddy said. And I'm going to read this out loud to y'all. Given the events of the last 24 hours, we Virginians must stop and come up with another plan. First, discourage any and all of our folks from joining and or staying in the Yankees military. Second, only vote for and support our people. It's not like either political party cares for us anyway. There can be no doubts at this point to the voting system. It's completely rigged to boot. Third, stop saying the Marxist pledge and stop associating with the 50-star flag. Fourth, look out for each other, folks. I have no crystal ball, but things are going to turn bad quickly. Truer words have never been spoken.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a whole that's a whole rabbit hole, which I do with a program called The Illusions of Patriotism. Many people are not aware of how the pledge came to be, because before the pledge, we had no pledge. The Union Army had no pledge back then. It was made after the war as an indoctrination tool, as a way to have this falsified idea of what federalism is, selling federalism and this big government as, being conservative or small government. And this is something that, more people really need to become aware of. They haven't been informed about this. And right here, I think Barney was answering Bo. Bo asks a good question. Y'all might not know the answer to this. Bo said, did Congress defund the naming commission? And Barney was correct. The short answer is no.
No.
Congress, which, by the way, was a majority Republican, had every chance. If all those Republicans stayed strong and they voted against the naming commission, guess what, y'all? It would have been gone. It would have been defunct. You wouldn't even have to see a crane at Arlington. They chose not to defund the naming commission. Tons of Republicans joined the left to do this, y'all, and this is really scary. It shows there's no difference. The naming commission, people were saying it doesn't exist, which they were referring to the actual commission itself. The commission was tasked with going around and identifying anything Confederate at any kind of schools and whatnot. And when they were doing that, and the names and all that, all the bases, they identified the memorial. First, it said the memorial will be safe, that they would not remove that memorial. Then they decide, yep, we're going to remove the memorial. That you can thank to General Milley. I guess you pronounce the last name. Milley was the one who came up with that, as well as Ty Sigel. Ty Sigel, who PragerU. People think PragerU is this wonderful program, and it ain't, y'all. It ain't conservative. He was on PragerU attacking our ancestors. Mm-hmm. So Ty Sigel goes around and he, promotes this nonsense and promotes a book that attacks Lee's character. It's all false. And this is what causes the naming commission. Well, when that commission did its report, they went defunct. That was it. So after the naming commission, that was that. Congress had every chance, every opportunity. All those Republicans had every chance to unite and say, we got to stand strong and not let this happen. They chose not to.
Well, the naming commission in and of itself had no lawmaking power. All they did was make recommendations. it was the Department of Defense that had the option. They had the choice to not accept these recommendations, and yet they did. Yet they did.
That's right.
Yes.
People got to remember and realize it's not just contractors that are taking down the Reconciliation Monument. It's actual military personnel.
Yeah, it's the DOD.
Like Buck said.
That's right.
Yes, the United States military is making war on dead American veterans.
Shameful.
It's beyond shameful.
There's
I don't
really
think
no word, I don't think.
Yeah.
There's
Corey.
no Christian word, that's for sure. There is
There's
no
no-
Christian
there's
word I
no.
can even say right now.
It's blasphemy. It's blasphemy.
It's infuriating.
Horrendous, appalling, revolting,
disgusting.
Demonic.
sordid. It's really like, and I'm in a state of disbelief because I'm not shocked they're doing this. I'm just like, you know, they do this on Wreaths Across America, set up the crane right after. So you have all its wreaths. So Wreaths Across America, they probably got together and say, okay, let's do this. It's really funny, y'all, because I thought there were business hours. Apparently, they're doing this on a Sunday, no less, setting everything up. Yeah, let's wreaths and wrecking balls. Deck the halls of wrecking balls. You know?
Yeah.
Right before the anniversary of the secession of South Carolina.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nonetheless. Yeah.
Yeah, nonetheless.
We can
And the
totally do a
timing
song.
and the timing too, you know, just as we're all getting ready for Christmas this coming weekend.
That's right.
Mhm.
Just after Hanukkah, they did this. They really planned this right after Hanukkah. So once Hanukkah's over, you know, he's a Jewish American veteran who's buried there. Then right before Christmas, they don't want us to even have happiness and joy this year. You know, this is just what we saw in the country. This has been going on since 2020 when the people in Congress, New Jersey, prime example, they tried to say how many people could be over y'all's houses. They had people that wanted to mandate that you make them show proof of a test, wear a mask, get a jab. All the same nonsense they are doing. And it's so polarized. There is no coming back from this division, y'all. Absolutely none.
Yep.
None.
I will not break bread with them. I remember
No.
I had an academic friend of mine, you know, we were part of Southern Studies, and he had great ideas, right? You know, it happens. So he was just throwing off ideas, and one idea, and all of us collectively said a big fat no. He said, why don't we have this wonderful big Southern meal with all these, you know, Southern fixins and Southern culture, and we can make people on the left engage in our culture. All of us go, no, there is no compromise. You're going to have what, ready for this, y'all? Back when I was young and more younger, I should say, and more naive, about 5 years ago, I had a friend that was woke. We don't talk anymore. Blocked him on Facebook because he was too belligerent. He came over for a social I had with friends, and I made Robert E. Lee cake. And he says, okay, I'm going to call this lemon cake. No, you're not. It's Robert E. Lee cake. You are not going to get involved with this name. You are not going to change the name of a dessert. He didn't like that. I had a little card there. I said, deal with it. If you don't like it, if you can't respect what this cake is named, if you don't respect our Southern heritage, there's the darn door. You can leave. People got to take that attitude. And it's going to hurt. I have family members I will not have over my home.
No,
Yeah.
those, in my personal opinion, those people don't have a place in society. They don't, because they're trying to destroy it.
Yeah, no place to
They don't
place.
deserve.
That's right.
It's
You know, people
infuriating.
like that at one time in our world, that when they would try to force their way into society, they'd be laughed out. They'd
Yeah,
be, I mean,
we
just
laughed them out the
made the
door.
fools that they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
We laughed him at the door.
Yes. And now they open the door to them. They pat them on the back, pull the chair out, and give them a platform as if
And
all
we're-
ideas are equal.
Mhm.
And all ideas are not equal.
No.
Absolutely. And I can say this y'all, as a soon-to-be psychologist.
School system. When the school system started cracking down on bullying, as much as I don't want to justify bullying. When they
Agreed.
started cracking down on that, they made a little miniature police state on students. You can't do this, you can't do that. Everything has to be bubble wrapped in duct tape.
It's a soft,
Instead of letting everything work itself out with natural selection, let big
Mhm.
government take care of it. And you see how that's worked out.
Yeah.
Or at least teach your kid, if someone at school tries to fight you, don't be the one to throw the first punch, but if they throw one, go ham.
But even if you do that, you still get suspended and the other kid doesn't somehow.
Even if
That's
right.
how stupid it is.
How backwards the school system is. Yeah.
it is, it's backwards. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
People don't know that the
national
pledge was
anthem,
written
yes.
by a
It was a
socialist.
socialist minister who was defrocked of his role as a preacher.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Bo says, I lost my respect for the military and the federal empire. Amen. I agree, because
Amen.
it shows a lack of integrity when you wear that uniform to uphold the Constitution and you are complicit in destroying a fellow veteran's grave.
Mm-hmm.
That's disgusting. And also, y'all, I got breaking news on this. Here's a little surprise for y'all. Do y'all know the Lincoln Memorial is now closed today? Look at what happened for those of y'all that don't know. Oh, and Mr. Derek says, this is our buddy from England. He says, hi, y'all. Brilliant. Thank you, Vinny, for my Christmas cards. Love you, brother. You too, my friend. Sent Mr. Derek a Christmas card.
Yes.
All right. Lincoln Memorial temporarily closed after being vandalized with free Gaza graffiti. Oh, the irony, y'all.
Oh yes, the irony.
Look at that. Lafayette
Oh.
Park, demonstrators vandalized this. So DC is getting everything vandalized. So wait a minute, y'all. Remember how they said that our Southern memorials were, were part of the problem. They were at risk of being graffitied. That's why we should take them down. Are we going to apply the same logic here? Look at that. They're graffitiing everything. When are you going to have someone on the left say, oh, wait a minute, that's causing a distraction? Guarantee it's coming, y'all. Look at this.
Yeah, because
lawlessness.
look at that. They're literally graffitiing literally a hero of two worlds, the hero of France and the United States, the Marquis de Lafayette. Mm-hmm. And
that's right, Miss Wanda. Miss Wanda says, keep y'all's kids at the communist day camps. Amen.
Yeah, keep them out. And this is the very reason why we need to either homeschool or do as Thomas Jefferson did when he created Virginia University, and just after to rival Yale and whatnot, and to create a curriculum that Southerners would appreciate. I think we just need to break from
school.
What's that?
Make your own institution. Say to hell with the federal government and have education.
Amen. People say too, right? The enemy is not overseas. The enemy is within.
Yeah, and here
we've witnessed our own version of Hamas doing this nonsense. Our own government is them. They've done this stuff to our own memorials.
And I know what Bo is talking about, but I will add this. One of the biggest supporters of removing Confederate monuments in this country is CARE, the Council on American Islamic Relations, which is a front group for Hamas.
That's right.
It is,
and guess what, y'all? They were coming after the grave of Moses Ezekiel. That was CARE. And, in this age of anti-Semitism that's blatant, you have CARE doing this and nobody is paying attention or aware. And that's the scary thing with how uninformed people are. This is on our own doorstep. This is not somewhere far away.
Yeah, it's literally in our own backyard. And what's so frightening, at least frightening for me, is only one major conservative commentator that I follow did not like what they were doing at Arlington. The rest were silent, or at least
That's right. And at Arlington, you are, for those that want to go as private citizens, know that they check everything. But when you're there, you can have a camera. They were trying to tell people that you can't have a camera, you can't take pictures. Oh, that it's restricted. It's public. So when you get, you have to go through airport security. You go into Arlington and you just want to go there to document and take photos, which is what regular private citizens do. You are able to do that. Anyone is welcome to walk into Arlington. You can go in there, and they're trying to tell people, no, you can't. Well, yes, you can. And people argued that yesterday. You are allowed to take photos. It's public. You can't disturb the process, but you are allowed to just go over the fence, and that's all legal. It's a public space, y'all.
Yeah.
Exactly. They are cowards, Miss Wanda. And
They
it's
don't
just something-
recognize their own laws.
That's
Yeah.
right. They
rules for me,
casually
but not for
apply them.
thee.
Well, that's like
Exactly.
North Carolina. It goes back to, we have these, monument laws, and they try to go around them any way they can.
Yeah, and most
Well,
people don't really know a lot of
There's one
monument.
loophole in the monument law.
Like one of
North
the
Carolina's monument
laws-
law states that as long as the public's disturbed and there's a threat to peace, then a monument can be taken down. As ludicrous as that
Law-
sounds.
That's bad.
Laws are meaningless unless those tasked with making sure that they are kept do their job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So I have a little game for us because I know we have talked about some heavy stuff, and this is all really good points because, the laws, we can do a whole nother program on that. I want to get our audience involved in this. So for those of y'all that want to play a little game with us, we're going to do some trivia. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Do it.
Good.
Snake eyes.
We got to do another program on North Carolina's monument protection laws, as well as before we start this is a good one. Miss Wanda asks, I don't understand how they can touch them when all our Confederate soldiers are declared veterans. Miss Wanda, here's the scary thing. It's all about how they can shift the narrative. So if they're able to make a case and say, you know what, this is what these historians, and I use that term very loosely, are, what they're strongly recommending, again, not required, they then follow that. We've got to get the courts on our side, and we've got to get the youth properly educated. It's going to take a lot of time because this all started, again, what Greg mentioned, in education, and it has since bled out into this. So we have states like North Carolina, they don't follow their heritage law. Virginia doesn't follow it. Your best bet is to strengthen your state's heritage protection law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And behind that, the best bet is to actually educate the enforcers of the law.
Yeah. And that's one of the many reasons why I'm going back to school for my master's and hopefully for my PhD. And I was happy to find out that not only will my tuition be covered, Vinny, but my materials will be covered too. But it's not going to stop me from getting on Scully and apply for scholarships and maybe the Stan Waddy scholarship from the city.
Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
But yeah, Jonathan Simmons, my uncle was a veteran in World War II.
Salute.
Just about everybody in my family has served in every capacity in the military, starting from the Revolutionary War. Family fought on both sides. Loyalists, and one was an Indian loyalist, and one was patriot, and all the way to the present. Yeah, almost every male of my family has served. My dad,
very awesome,
and my great-grandfather, my granduncles, and one of my granduncles' brothers are buried at Normandy.
Wow. Yeah, I have an A great. I think he's a third great. He's buried at the American Cemetery in France. I'll have to think of the town, but he was killed in 1944, I think, in December. So around this time.
Yeah. It'd be
Glenn
about
Albert Taggart.
July.
He was my age. Like I'm 22. He was about my age right now. So that's pretty surreal to really think about, you know.
Oh
You're
yeah.
21,
One of my
kid.
great uncles. Yeah, one of my great uncles
a
was
week away.
captured at the Battle of Mortain and was made prisoner of war by Germany. And for a brief period was made prisoner of war by the Soviets until they probably found out who he was, that he was an American soldier, and they turned him loose.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Wanda said, but that takes people to have enough guts, have enough sense to listen, open their minds, and have the guts to stand up. Sadly, I don't think it's possible. It's I don't want to say it's impossible. It just takes time. You know, you have to be the change you want to see. So, for example, if you had told me 5 years ago that I'd be out here traveling around the country, going to different memorials, being involved with these amazing patriots right here, I would have said you were absolutely out of your mind. I never would have imagined I would have been outspoken. Never would have dreamed it was possible. I had a friend that inspired me. He put that fire out under me to get out there, get involved. And my goal is to put that fire inside of all of y'all. You know, something as little as liking a video, even sharing this video, it goes a long way, y'all. We have a post now on Monuments Across Dixie. I tell people, share it. The more it goes viral, the more this information gets out. And the more this information gets out, the more people want to do something. People have a lot more power than they think. They can get involved with their heritage groups. They can, especially if they can get out and make their own flaggers group, that's so important. Because as a 501c3 heritage group, they can only do so much. You have to think outside the box. And that's what's really important, y'all. Political action committees, making those are important. And be that change that you want to see. It will take time. Nothing's going to happen overnight. But if getting like-minded people together that are local, that matters. It used to be just me out there flying a Confederate flag, getting harassed, getting attacked. Well, guess what, y'all? That one person became 3 people. We became a very small group. It was like 8 people, if that. We formed the New Jersey Flaggers on January 6, 2021 in New Jersey. And from there, we've grown. We now have over 100 members. And we continue to grow. We continue to do events. It will happen. You just got to be patient, be organized, and stay on task with it.
Yeah, I never thought that the Little Old Fame Preservation Group would actually become a legally recognized 501c3. It was just a dream, and then one day it became a reality.
Yep, made it happen.
And these are 2 young patriots that made it happen, Cameron and Greg. That's incredible, y'all.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Kudos to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's time and time again we kind of beat our own records of thinking we've done all we can do, and then we do something else.
Miss Wanda says she's amen, Miss Wanda. That's awesome. The Florida Flaggers. I started Jersey Flaggers. You know, we gotta do more flagging down in Florida. I would gladly join you guys. I know a very nice lady who I met. She's from Texas, but then she moved to Florida. She probably would be a huge asset to y'all. She wants to go flagging. We go flagging. Usually we take a break for the winter time and we do like dinner socials. And then we're doing a new event. And our event is a John Wilkes Booth dinner that we do around the time the GOP has their Lincoln dinner. That's going to be our big fundraiser. And we support all groups, heritage groups, as well as groups like the Virginia Flaggers. I go out to their events. I support Mr. Cameron and Mr. Greg with the Fame Preservation Group. The more we're united, the more we're together, the more we can fight. There is no drama. There is none of that. I don't tolerate it in my Flaggers group.
Nor do we.
Iron fist.
Amen.
Yeah, I sadly haven't done a flagging event yet because, well,
Those are flaggers, yeah, man. You got to get that going.
It's been awful quiet down here in Arkansas, to flag at.
That's no excuse. Go make the noise.
Yeah, man, you got this.
Have those colors out, anywhere they removed a memorial or just an overpass. People love seeing that flag, y'all. That gives them hope because they know that flag ain't going anywhere.
Especially in Lexington, Virginia, when we always go up there for Lee Jackson Day. everybody loves
Well-
flagging on the streets there.
Because the closest thing I did for flagging was going to the when they rededicated and opened to the public for the monument that was relocated in Bentonville.
Yeah.
And a lot of pretty much the front down here in Arkansas is just quiet. And to be quite honest, I'm not even sure where to flag it half the time.
Vinny, this is a question I had too. I know you talked to Brandon. Is it Brandon Hammer and Jesse?
Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon. What's his actual last name? I know Hammer is his last name on Facebook.
I don't even know his real last name.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, I know they mentioned about doing a Georgia flaggers group. Let me know about that if you hear any more information, because I'd love to
I'm
go
going to
help
ask Jesse about that.
Yeah.
Because they got to do something for Georgia, because that's an important one to keep going. Like Alabama has one.
Yeah.
I should know Brendan's last name, but I don't. I thought Hammer was it, but I don't.
I'm not exactly sure. I know of him, but I saw him at Stone Mountain when we were down there. He had the Cherokee Birds flag and everything, so that was cool. And the Betsy Ross.
Derek says we are both out flagging in England, looking after the graves in Liverpool. And we were asked, what are we doing? And when we tell them we get so much interest, they want to know more. That's right.
Yeah.
And that's the big one right there. Mr. Derek's in England, and he can flag in England. If you can flag in England, you could sure as heck flag in Dixie. And if we can flag in New Jersey up north, y'all can sure as heck flag in Dixie and get those colors out.
Yeah.
Amen. Mr. Barney Roberts III says that he does the North Carolina State Fair booth for the SCV. Love that, Mr. Barney.
Awesome.
That's an important one too. Getting your heritage group out there, getting the word out is a big one on social media. That's a huge thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course,
if you have an organization,
flags out.
What? Who's gonna?
Oh.
All right, y'all. Let's do our trivia.
Oh,
All right.
was that great?
What happened?
I was going to see about starting a conversation that would open a can of worms, but that would be the rest of the show.
I got my buzzer ready.
I was going to mention the new movie for next spring, Civil War.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's coming out. Oh, I'm frozen. Give me one second.
Is that the one? Is that the one at Harper's Ferry being filmed? Because there's been
Yeah,
a
I
call
think
for
so.
reenactors.
I believe so. Yeah.
There's been a call for reenactors.
Mm-hmm. Well, is it the same? No, I don't think
No,
it is.
it's a movie about a modern Civil War.
Yeah.
What if Texas and California seceded and started working on forming a confederacy? And
Oh, I heard of that.
Yeah. Well, there was like
From
three
what
different
I heard,
factions.
there's two factions that supposedly go against Washington D.C., and that's there's the Republic of Texas, and then the remainder of the states that join Texas are the Florida Alliance, and then there's the Republic of California, and the remainder of those states that join California is called the Western Forces, according to a map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's two alliances going against DC.
It's predictive programming, essentially. It's like if AI had a movie, that's what it would be.
There used to be a show I used to watch before it was canceled. It was called Revolution, and it was a show of when all electricity went away, and when that
EMP.
happened, the United States ended, and it broke off into like the Monroe Republic and the southern and these southern states led by Georgia.
Oh, that's very fascinating, actually.
Yeah.
Hey, Vinny.
It's like the EMP, though, is what it must have been.
You familiar with the secession movement in New England?
Yes, it was in the 1800s.
New Hampshire, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, sure.
Now there's a secession movement now
And up north
for
Now.
for a so-called New England Confederacy.
Yeah, I'm following them on Twitter, I believe. I mean,
Oh,
or
I love
X.
it.
They follow me
That's
back.
wonderful. I
That's
am
great
in
thing.
favor. I don't care if it's California, New England,
I'm in
Texas.
favor of it.
Let them go. Whoever wants to go, let them go.
Let them go and be independent. I love that idea.
Yeah. I say,
It's-
yeah, let them.
It encompasses the region of New England from Maine, probably to New Jersey, or even maybe Maryland.
Oh, shoot.
Penny's like,
I'll be
yeah.
leaving the state. They can go. They can go. They can take everything. That's fine. I'll just pack up and move down to Dixie.
Yeah, there you go.
See you later.
Well,
I'll bake
have you-
some cookies for them. Tell them it's a peace offering.
John, where you
Goodbye,
gonna go?
y'all.
Where am I going?
Yeah.
Me
Wherever
and
Kentucky
Cameron
goes, that's where I'm at.
about North and South Carolina becoming an independent country, and the capital would move to Charlotte.
Well, that would be some debate, and that's exactly why North Carolina and South Carolina is separate, because they couldn't decide where they wanted it to be. So they just, divided the lines with the some doctrine. I can't think of it right now. The royal governor of North Carolina at the time. Can you think of his name, Greg?
My specialty is the war states.
Tryon. I want to say Governor Tryon, but that ain't right. It'll come
Charlotte
back
has a
Yeah. Well, it's named after him. But anyway, yeah. That's the reason North Carolina and South Carolina are separated.
Yep, and that's why there's a border going through Fairwinds.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. You could be on one
Oh.
side and you could be between two states.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. So
Oh,
you
but
all
yeah,
want to do this trivia as individuals, or do you want to divide up into two teams of? Because I'll be emceeing this. Do you want to be two teams of two?
I'll take Cameron.
Yeah, me and Greg.
We can do what your organization, which is the
Name Preservation Group.
Fame Preservation Group, and then
FP.
Corey and John will be the Ozark Flaggers.
All right.
This should be interesting.
I like
All
it.
right, y'all. Great. All right,
Those
let's
are
do
Flaggers versus the
this.
FPG.
So y'all and everyone in the audience, y'all can always pitch in and guess. This is fun. Ozarks Flaggers.
Hope I don't weigh you down, Corey.
What say you, Mrs. Kitty?
Oh, this will be a nice little fun thing.
Don't
All right, so I'm going to ask some of these questions on here, and then I'm going to. Some of them I might have to do as a multiple choice, which I'll come up with.
Okay.
It's Starmen, the generals. Let's see. What beloved general's body was taken to the Richmond Capitol for viewing on May 12th, 1863?
The Stonewall Jackson.
Jackson.
Everyone says
Mhm.
Stonewall?
Yep.
That is correct.
Hmm.
So I'm going to
Wait,
make
so how's this work? Let's see. How should we do this? Like, whoever says it
I
first?
had to make a little score sheet.
Okay.
Ozark Flaggers 1. And the other one is FPG.
Yep.
1. So both have 1. All right. Number 2. What general's birthplace lies only a short distance from the birthplace of George Washington?
Robert E. Lee.
Mm.
No, that can't be right.
So Ozark Flagger says Robert E. Lee.
Repeat the question.
Yeah.
What general's birthplace lies only a short distance from the birthplace of George Washington?
Mm.
Wait, Fredericksburg was where George
For
Washington
some
was
reason,
born, right?
Run.
I think that's. Let's see.
Trying to remember.
You said Confederate general.
Yeah, I don't know.
You still on the phone? Okay.
Barney guesses Richard Ewell.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one.
I'll do a multiple
I could
choice.
throw it.
All right.
Stonewall Jackson, Turner Ashby, Robert E. Lee, or Richard Ewell?
I'm gonna guess that Richard Ewell. That's
I'm
Yeah.
gonna guess Richard Ewell.
None of y'all got it right.
who was it?
It was General Lee.
So it
That's
was.
what we said originally.
Wait, did they get that point then? I don't know.
I should have changed my answer.
Always go with your gut, y'all.
I should have known
Alright.
that's where the car was.
I mean, I guess with Arlington, yeah, that's not that far.
What
Well,
Tennessean with no military training whatsoever went from the rank of private to lieutenant general in 3 years?
Forrest.
Yeah, that's Forrest. Yeah.
Forrest is correct. Both of y'all
Yeah.
have another point.
Yep.
All right.
He was ruthless
too.
for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 4. What odd item would elderly General William Extra Billy Smith carry when he was riding? Was it, and I'll do this as a multiple choice, a gold whistle, a blue parasol, a Bible that was autographed, or a compass?
For some reason, I was going to say like pocket watch. I feel like that would be something, but maybe the Bible.
You said-
I'm going to say the Bible.
I'm gonna say the Bible that was autographed. That sounds
Yeah.
pretty specific.
It does. Yeah.
I'm gonna say a gold whistle.
Yeah, I'm going
None
with
of
the
y'all
gold
got
whistle.
that.
Dang, which one was it then?
He carried a blue parasol.
Wow.
A parasol? What's that?
It's a non-binary object now. No,
Oh, it's their version of Lysol.
all right. This is really cool, y'all. This is interesting. I have not had a team this good. Y'all
Good,
remain
good.
exactly tied. All right, next question. What were there more of? Southern-born Union generals or northern-born Confederate generals?
Northern-born Confederate.
Northern-born Confederate generals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Northern
Both of
born.
y'all got it right.
Yeah.
More northern-born Confederate generals. So, tied again. 3-3.
The shocker. The U.S. military still relies on us.
Yep.
Mhm.
Right. All right. Next question. Who was General Richard Taylor's famous father?
President Zachary Taylor.
Yeah.
Dang it. You got that one. Yep. Zachary Taylor, if I'm not mistaken, is buried at Hollywood Cemetery. Isn't that correct?
No, that's John Tyler.
John Tyler. Yeah. Okay.
Zachary Taylor's buried
Yeah.
in Kentucky.
Kentucky. Yeah.
Both of y'all got that right.
Nice.
4-4, y'all.
John Tyler. Yeah. Okay.
4 for 4. That's a number.
Yeah.
All right. You guys are good at this. When Union General Edward Ord and Confederate General James Longstreet had a tete-a-tete near Petersburg, what did they plan to hatch?
A what?
I think it's tete-a-tete.
Tete-a-tete.
Mm-hmm.
So a
I
meeting.
don't
They had a meeting. I'll make this one a multiple choice. Did they want to do a trade-off on supplies, a prisoner trade-off, or a ceasefire?
Prisoner trade-off.
Prisoner trade-off.
No one got it right. It was a ceasefire. They planned for the
Really?
generals to suspend all fighting and let the politicians work out the details of the settlement. The plan went nowhere.
Huh. So, hey, we're all learning something new here, you know?
That was a cool one. I didn't know that one either.
Yeah, that's interesting. Ceasefire.
I just
Wow.
wasn't sure what a tete-a-tete meant.
All right. What general was noted for curling both his hair and beard in ringlets? And those are those like spiral corkscrew curls.
General
No.
Pickett.
No, that's Burnside, right?
John was correct. It was General Pickett.
Really? Pickett did that. Oh.
He curled his hair. and
Burnside
his
had
beard.
side.
Well, yeah, that's true. but
Burnside
I
had a mustache connecting to the sideburns.
Yeah, that's true.
and it gave rise to the nickname Sideburn, which
Sideburn,
is
yeah.
usually the reverse.
Mm-hmm.
What extremely religious general informed a captured federal officer that his men would be imprisoned while the other officer would be castrated?
Jackson,
That's a
maybe?
good one.
Mm.
No, that sounds like Forrest.
No, he wasn't a Christian yet.
No, he wasn't. But it
Yeah.
does sound like Forrest. But I know that's not my answer. But
I'll give you a multiple choice for this one.
Okay.
Was it Jubal Early, General Forrest, General Jackson, or General Daniel Harvey Hill?
Huh.
Hill.
That one's-
I'm gonna say Jackson.
Yeah, I'm going with my Jackson answer. I'm still sticking with that.
Mhm.
No one got that right. It was General Daniel Harvey Hill.
Dang.
I
I'll
said
listen to a second question.
Benny, I said Harvey Hill.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
I guess at
He said
that
it.
point.
I'll turn it into, because this one's a tricky one. I'll turn it into a second question. What did Daniel Harvey Hill never do? Did he not drink, cuss, gamble?
Gamble.
He didn't gamble.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
say
it was.
Gamble.
He didn't cuss.
Ha! That's a cuss.
I didn't hear you,
Yeah.
Cameron.
Yeah,
Oh,
you didn't.
did too,
All
but
right.
okay.
10. What general usually bears the brunt of the blame for the Confederate defeat at Gettysburg?
Pemberton.
Was
Mhm.
it, I can turn this into multiple choice.
Okay.
Was it Longstreet, Pemberton, or Lee?
Pemberton.
Lee.
Longstreet.
Longstreet was correct.
I thought Lee.
Bears the brunt at Vicksburg.
Gettysburg.
Did you say? Oh, I'm sorry. I could have swore you said Vicksburg. I'm sorry.
No. Pemberton would be right for that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Mark
Well,
Longstreet.
My bad.
Longstreet was blamed, but in some areas, but it was Lee who shouldered the blame usually.
Yeah.
So I was torn between Longstreet and Lee.
Yeah, that one was a little trickier for that reason.
What distinction did 23-year-old General William Paul Roberts hold?
A what?
The youngest Confederate general.
It was General. What distinction did 23-year-old General William Paul Roberts hold?
Hmm.
Can it be multiple choice?
I can make it multiple choice.
All right.
Fastest promotion, youngest general, or number of battles won.
Youngest general.
Youngest general.
Number of battles won, maybe?
He was the youngest
Number of
general.
battles.
Youngest, okay. Youngest general.
Right.
That's cool. Oh,
All right. So,
23
Here,
years old.
Cameron.
Wow.
you guys are like neck and neck. I love it. That's right. And Barney's on fire in the chat. He knows this. Okay. What rebel general was known as the leader of a band of merry men? And
I've heard that
give you a-
before.
Is it AP Hill?
I'm going to give you all multiple choice with this one. Was it Quantrill, AP Hill, John Hunt Morgan, or Braxton Bragg?
Oh,
Morgan.
I
man,
want
now
to
this-
say. I
I'm
want
gonna
to say
say
Morgan.
John Hunt Morgan.
I'm
I
going
want
with
to
AP
say
Hill.
Morgan.
Morgan is correct. You both got that right.
Wow.
Again, still neck and neck. Yikes.
John. And that is, if I'm not mistaken, that's AP Hill's half brother or something, or it's one of General's
Brother-in-law, I
half-brothers as
think.
well.
Brother-in-law.
Or brother-in-law,
That's
yeah.
why
Okay.
people keep
Yeah.
saying they're the Captain Morgan boys, because they always had a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
All right. What was the home state of General States Rights Gist?
States' rights kissed.
South Carolina.
Yeah, it would have to be South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Both
Yeah.
of y'all got it right. It was
Yep.
South Carolina. What a name that is.
Yeah.
All
Huh.
right.
Wow.
Next one. What tough fighting brigade was General John Gregg privileged to command?
Hmm.
And I'll give you a hint. Was it the Alabama Infantry? Was it the Texas Brigade? Was it the South Carolina Sharpshooters? Or was it the Mosby's Rangers?
I'm going with the Rangers.
I'll go with the sharpshooters. I feel like that would be what it was.
Sharpshooters too.
What do you want to say sharpshooters, Corey? All right.
None of y'all got it right. It was the Texas Brigade.
Huh.
Man, I should have protested. That's what I wanted to say.
Very
Make
funny.
it the second question. What general was the Texas Brigade originally commanded by? Was it General Lee, General Hood, General Pickett, or Van Dorn?
Hood.
Hood. Yeah, Hood.
Both y'all got that right.
Yep.
That's what
That's
Fort
what
Hood was named.
Yeah. Texas. Yeah.
All right.
It'll always be called that. We're never calling
Yeah.
it anything else.
Yeah, I'm dead naming those bases. It's Fort Hood, it's Fort Lee,
Mhm.
it's Fort Leonard Wood, and Fort Benning.
Bragg.
And Fort Bragg.
Fort Bragg.
Yeah.
But North Carolina trying to name it Fort Liberty. It's
Yeah.
so basic.
Yeah, Fort
I mean,
Bragg.
really.
We're too far away from Arkansas to recognize.
Mhm.
What cantankerous general had the reputation of always stopping to quarrel with his generals?
Bragg.
Yeah, definitely Bragg, because he's
a jerk.
fought for Chickamauga and the
You
Chattanooga
both got it
campaign
right.
as well.
And Franklin.
Yeah.
You guys are too
Mhm.
good at this. All right. I got to give you guys some tricky ones. What future Confederate general commanded the company of the U.S. Marines who trapped the murderous abolitionist John Brown at Harper's Ferry?
Lee and Jeb Stuart.
Yep.
Yeah,
It was Lee.
yeah. That's the ironic part,
All right.
because he was part of U.S. Army at that point.
What Union general's daughter was married to a Confederate general?
Garland.
Was it, and I'll give you all multiple choice of this, Meade, Garland, Cook, or Custer?
Custer.
Garland.
Garland.
I'm going Custer.
Nobody got it right. It was Philip St. George Cook.
Cook. Wow.
Better
Okay.
yet, does that make a second question? Who did Cook's daughter marry?
Jeb
Did
Stuart.
Mary.
Jeb Stuart.
You say Jeb Stuart? What do you say?
Multiple choice.
Yeah.
All right. Was it
I'm- Reb.
Van Dorn, Jeb Stuart, or Stan Wadey?
Definitely Jeb Stewart.
Stand
at that
with it.
point.
Jeb Stuart. Jeb Stuart.
Stuart.
Stewart.
Stuart was correct.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Because we all know Van Dorn was a womanizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say that. All right.
Yeah, and we still don't like him in Arkansas.
What general's mid-war wedding was performed by another general?
Huh.
Hmm.
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice. Was it Braxton Bragg, John Morgan, Van Dorn, or Mosby?
Braxton
Van
Bragg.
Dorn.
I don't know. That
No,
one.
not
I'm
Van
late.
Dorn.
It is not.
It was. Give me what were the choices again?
Braxton Bragg, John Morgan. Was it Van Dorn or was it Mosby?
Morgan.
Yeah, something tells me Morgan.
It was Morgan.
Morgan. Wow.
You guys are too good at this. All right.
All right, I have to go back for a second, Vinny,
Uh-huh.
just to give a correction to your trivia book.
Uh-huh.
Garland was also a correct answer on what Union general had a daughter that married a Confederate general, because John Garland's daughter was married to James Longstreet.
Oh. Well, the more you know. That's
Yeah.
kind of interesting.
In other words, they should have narrowed it down more.
To multiple.
Yeah.
Thank you for teaching me that. I didn't even know that about either.
Interesting.
I'll turn this into a second part. Who was the general that married John Hunt Morgan? Was it General Jackson, General Polk, or General Bragg?
General Polk. Leonidas Polk.
Oh,
Jackson.
oh,
You
Yep.
both got it right.
yep.
Oh my goodness. All right, you guys are neck and neck with this. So you know what? I'm gonna up this. I'm gonna allow this to be the what I call the tie-breaking question. So you guys can also decide for this one. I'm gonna allow this. You can bet your points. So Ozarks Flaggers, you have 14 points. Fame Preservation Group, you have 13 points.
Oh,
You either need 1 point to win this. For Fame Preservation needs 2 points to win this. Ozarks Flaggers needs 1 point to win this. And if we're still at a tie, I can do another tiebreaker. So this is really, do you guys want to press your luck with this and bet points?
sure. I guess we're up for a challenge. I don't know.
I'm a betting man.
I defer to Corey on that.
Let's just go ahead. Let's do it.
All right.
Oh, Cameron, I thought you weren't a gambler.
How much
Uh-huh.
points do you want to bet on this?
I don't know.
You got 13 points.
How do you want to do it?
Well,
I don't know.
I think the fair way to do this is one of two ways. Either you give the team that's in the lead, my team, the opportunity to say how much we bet after the other team says, or we secretly tell Vinny in the chat, in our private group chat, what our bet is. That way nobody knows what the other team bet.
This is starting to look like a private session in Congress.
All right, I'll make it easier. I'll make this question a 2-point question. That way, if Fame Preservation gets it right, they win. Or Ozarks Flaggers, you win either with 1 or 2. So how does that sound?
That'll work.
That's good.
So this is our big question right here. 2 points. What Northern Union state did General Polk's son die in? And I'll turn this into a multiple choice. Was it New York City, New York? Was it Atlantic City, New Jersey? Was it Los Angeles, California? Or was it in Nebraska?
Did you say battle or city?
I just put cities in there.
Was it
So
during, before,
After.
after? Okay.
Atlantic City, maybe. Or
What do you think, Corey?
The New Jersey part.
I never knew he had a son because I didn't know he had a son because he was a man of the cloth. I thought he was a priest.
Yeah, but he was Episcopal, not Catholic.
He's a bishop.
Yeah. So
So Episcopal ministers can have wives and children.
because I'm familiar with his nephew, Lucius Polk in Arkansas.
What do you think about California? You think he might have died in California?
I'm torn between California and New Jersey.
I'm thinking Jersey. That's what I'm going with. What do you think, Greg? You think Jersey too?
For some reason, my gut tells me Nebraska.
I know that's kind of. It depends on when Nebraska was.
I was thinking about the Homestead Act.
That's true too.
I'm torn. I'm torn between Jersey or. I'm going to defer this to you, John, because I'm not familiar with him.
Well, I'm not familiar with his kid either, but
or
I know part of me wants to say that it's going to be Jersey because that would be right up in Vinny's wheelhouse. But if New Jersey hadn't been on the list, I would have said California. So
for some reason, I want to say Nebraska now.
I'm going to say California.
All right.
So, Greg, we're going with Nebraska.
Yeah, what the hell?
All right, so neither of you got it right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to narrow it down. 2 sister states. Was it New York City, New York, or Atlantic City, New Jersey?
Thank Jersey.
Jersey.
Yes, Jersey.
Everyone said Jersey?
Yes.
It was Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Dang, see, oh, man.
So that puts.
Wait, how's this work? Okay.
So you guys,
We both got 3 points.
Ozarks Flaggers got it right, and you guys got it right. So Ozarks Flaggers at 16, Family Preservation's now at 14. Sorry, 15.
Yes.
Do you want to do another tiebreaker one?
I mean, we're not really tie-breaking, but yeah, we can. That's fine.
All right. I'm going to find someone tricky in here.
So let me go to the back.
Yeah, actually work.
What caused General Patrick Clyburn to relinquish command of the Battle of Richmond, Kentucky? And I'll make this a multiple choice. Was he shot in the leg, shot in the cheek, shot in the head, or shot in the chest?
Cheek.
Shot in the cheek.
Shot in the leg, maybe. I don't.
Corey got it right. He was shot in the cheek.
Dang.
He was not able to speak.
Wow.
With that being said, Ozarks Flaggers wins.
Good job.
Very, very close match.
It was.
It was very neck and neck. And had I not changed my mind on the birthplace, we probably would have been ahead.
You guys would have. Yeah, that's right. All right, y'all. We kept you on here long enough. I hope you learned some trivia.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
Wasn't it fun?
Yeah, I agree, Tom.
Oh, yes.
Y'all stay Southern. And Deo Vindice.
Deo Vindice.
Deo Vindice.
And stay under.
Yep.